This, yep. Very nice, very nice. So, we gotta start coloring. You know, the thing about pens is they're unforgiving. That's why a lot of artists don't like using them freehand. You know, they like putting pencil outlay first, or they just don't like using them in general because they don't like how a lot of artists like being in control 100%. And I hate control freaks, so the kind of art that I do is the most uncontrolled type of art. I do freehand, pen and ink, and then if I'm coloring, I'll do a watercolor background. And watercolor is the very nature of watercolor is that it's just unruly, you know? It's just unruly. That's all there is to it. But you get really cool effects out of it too, you know? So it's worth doing if you're doing certain kinds of things. So we're just going to go over this one time first like this, and then we'll go over it with another pen to get the strokes out of there, because you'll see a bunch of overlap, you know, from the Sharpie. And yes, this face is not going to be black and white, you know, with this picture, so that's that. Yeah, heck yeah. Makes you wonder, you know, some people that lead outwardly religious life, you know, a righteous life, and they end up being like the worst kinds of people. It's like, is that by design? Like, were they a horrible person and then they, you know, became worse and, you know, under religion? Like they were, you know, a kid and brought up in religion and we're all fine, and then one day they figured out that they could use religion as like a shield, you know? Because it's happened enough times in history that like there's like whole, you know, people are like, oh yeah, you know, there's jokes and everything, and it's just like, I don't know. I've always wondered that. You know, does a position, are you corrupt before you get the position and then you get the position, or are you get the position and then it corrupts you? You know, that's I guess that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to know. Out of pure curiosity, you know. Is it the thing that corrupts you, or were you already corrupt? Because that makes sense. Alright. So we got that. I'll put this guy in there a little bit. This is a little bit darker, so we want to see, you can see. Kind of go over everything with this guy a little bit. Get that extra dark in there. And we'll start detailing stuff. La di da 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 di da 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 da. Yeah, some pens are just different. You know, these alcohol markers are awesome. I like them a lot. They really level stuff out for you. Yeah, but that's my question. You know, that goes for any religion. You know, if you look back, you know, even today, people talk about Gandhi and talk about certain things he did, and it's like, so I think people are just righteous in their day, you know, because I think the next day, nobody accepts you based on whatever, you know, aspects of how you did things in your own time compared to aspects on how people look at them in this day and age, you know. So I think it's a little iffy the way people are and look at it these days. Alright, so let's get this stuff in there. You know, we want to make this overflow look like, you know, some kind of human byproduct of people going into the depths of hell forever. What kind of byproduct? I don't know. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. Some kind of human slop. Uh-oh, there goes my light farting out on me. Why it's doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. So if it gets a little dimmer for a minute, you're going to have to bear with me, people. I'm an up-and-comer. As soon as I make some money, I'll start getting some gear, some better gear. Start getting some better gear, but plugging away at subscribers on my YouTube channel. Got, you know, it's like a couple a day, which is awesome, and I'm super happy about that. And then I found out about the Kick, and you only need 75 people. Like on YouTube, to get monetized, you need 1,000 people. On Kick, you only need 75 people. So I said, well, maybe I'll try that Kick out for a little bit. See how that, how that treats me. But 75 people, it's hopefully going to be a lot easier to obtain than 1,000. I hope so. We'll see. We shall see. Maybe I'm laughed out of Kick. They're like, you fucking loser, get out of here. You don't have $1 million microphone and badass setup. You're some poor person spurging out, and it's like, well, yeah. But I'm trying. So, that being said, we'll hope for the best. I'm a firm believer in hope, and I'm not afraid of working for it. I didn't get my nickname Slavery from nothing. So I'm not afraid of working. Not at all. Woohoo. This thing is some kind of, reverse. We want like a reverse tornado, You ever had like a whirlpool in a pool? That's what we're going for here. Some kind of thing that sucks up all the evil people. Well, it sucks them all up in the beginning. And then it deposits the bad ones in the pot. The bad ones go in the pot. Yeah, so hopefully I can do okay on Kick, I've been watching a lot of people on there and trying to practice, sorta, I guess. I guess that's what these are, even. These are kind of sort of practice live streams. I'm not a live stream master, and it'll be a one-man show, too, so I'll probably be a little slower about stuff. But also, at the same time, my channel is not about certain things. I'm not a drama channel, although maybe I'll talk about a little drama here and there because, I talk about like Kino Casino and Philbo Baggins, Dark Side Phil. That kind of stuff amuses me. I'm not like totally all into it, but it's amusing to have. I watch Kino Casino, put him on the background. I watch Dark Side Phil, put him on the background. It's like, I was all pumped the other day because I was like, oh, now that I have a channel on Kick, I can go donate to Dark Side Phil or something, But then I thought, oh, he'll probably just think I'm a fucking troll because he's never seen my account before and ban me right away. So I decided not to. That's okay, though. I'll donate to somebody else or nobody at all. I'd like to donate to somebody. Just, there's got to be somebody out there that's doing something cool. Like, I'd probably donate to Kino Casino. Like I said, I'd even donate to Dark Side Phil, I'm going to try it once at least. Once I get it down and I know how to donate and stuff, and I got everything figured out, I'll try to donate to Phil, see what happens. He'll be like, you fucking detractor. I'm sick of you detractors coming up with new, look at this, they're even making artsy channels to get at me here on Kick, all the detractors. I'll tell you, that whole thing with DSP and Kino Casino, how the fucking they made a movie about him is, Jesus, those movies are hilarious. I've even made a time lapse about Phil. I made a time lapse drawing of Phil, DSP, and of Review Tech USA. 2 time lapses inspired by the casino. But yeah, it's fun stuff to watch. I get a kick out of it. It's just bullshit, drama. But sometimes it's fun to watch that kind of stuff. There's enough bullshit going on in the world that sometimes it's just nice to turn off and watch a drama channel or watch some guy ramble while he's drawing something. That's always nice too. So, we'll see. But those kind of things inspired me to do that. So, hopefully I can do something with it. I don't know, I think if you got enough, if you're doing something that's cool, I think people will probably dig it. Drawing's cool, people like it, not everybody can do it, it's always kind of fun to watch people draw. I don't really like people watching me draw per se. Not like if you're like hanging over my shoulder, This kind of thing wouldn't bug me, drawing for a live thing, that wouldn't bug me at all. Wouldn't bug me at all, and it won't. But it'd be cool just to have people on a live stream to bounce ideas off of, like, hey, what I was thinking, what do you guys think of AI, What do you think of this or that? The way I got my studio set up is like I could have my computer over here with the live stream going with my webcam looking at me. I could have this camera looking down at the art so people could see the art getting drawn. And then directly in front of me is my 80-inch TV, and I could have that on so I could check out the stream and stuff, and I could read the stream. Just some ideas. Just some ideas, people. Alright, so that's our cauldron of disappointment of people. Yeah. Oh, I hear the tractor outside. The grounds guys are here doing their thing. It's snowing where I'm at in the world, so they're all doing their thing. I'll put a couple more little things like that in there. Kind of going for almost like a medieval look, to it. Kind of, like the old frescoes you'd see, on top of the church ceilings and stuff. Oh yeah. Sweet. So I got all that. Got all the people in there suffering. Got the sun. Should probably do a little more detail. It's all about the detail. All about the detail, people. Okay, so we got Earth, we got Sun, we got everything there. Suppose we're going to start putting some stars in the background. So this is nebula, so this would be space. So nebula, space, nebula, space. So this big area is space, nebula, space. Alright, so nebula, space, nebula. We want some goofy looking stars. Some kind of weird looking stars in the background. Some bigger, some smaller. Cartoony looking. The more cartoony, the better. Yeah, we like it. We like it. Okay. Yeah, so I figured, getting home from work, putting the kid to bed, and then like going live on Kick at like midnight, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays maybe. Something like that. And we'll see where that goes. I can start building up some subscribers. And in the meantime, I got the buy me a coffee thing if somebody wanted to do that. But hopefully it wouldn't take me long to get 75 subscribers, and I could sign up with whatever Kick does and go from there. I can't wait to do it. Please, universe. Please, simulation. Make my simulation better. That's what I say whenever anybody's like, "Oh, it's a simulation, bro." I say, "Yeah, make my simulation better." It's not like mine's hard or anything, my simulation, but it'd just be nice to have. It'd be nice to have more for the kid, you know. I got a kid now, so I want to spoil him and stuff, and that's all I want to do. Because I wasn't a spoiled kid when I was growing up, so. Not to say my kid isn't spoiled already. His uncle spoils the shit out of him, and because we weren't spoiled kids when we were growing up, is the exact reason why. So maybe that's the wrong thing. Maybe not wanting to spoil him is the right thing. I don't know. A mix, a balance is all I want. And anything in life is balance is good. It's the best thing to have. If you got balance, you got good. You're good. See how I'm kind of intentionally making the stars kind of goofy, off-putting, big, because the whole thing is kind of like that. I like it like that. Yeah, it looks cool. But yeah, that's the only reason. I just want to spoil my kid. That's all. But it'd be nice, you know. I see all these other people on streaming, you know, going live, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel like if they can do it, I can do it. Some of them are hot chicks with big you-know-whats, and I can't compare to that. And all I can say is, touche, you have capitalized on the sympatry of men, and I have to respect that. But otherwise, it's like, I can hop on a stream, and hopefully I can make people giggle and do stuff, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to draw some stuff around these stars. Kind of like such. Yeah, the biggest thing is, you know, hopefully I can keep like a conversation going where I'm just telling people, you know, hey, yeah, this